In the 1950s, Paranoia was about your neighbor. In the 70s, it was feminism. But in the 90s, well, it was about being too mainstream. Today we're going to take a look at two late 90s films that kind of remade classic sci-fi movies like The Stepford Wives and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's right. We're going to talk about disturbing behavior and the faculty.
Longly, fire of my loins, purveyor of my every masturbatory fantasy.
The 90s were weird for horror in general, but the late 90s, it got really weird. There were a lot of different trends and kind of things that would set precedents for the next 20 years, honestly. And there are two films that kind of just didn't find their home. Scream had brought to the genre some edgy, sarcastic cynicism at a time when, well, culturally, the 90s were very edgy, sarcastic, and very cynical. But this was kind of the norm. We were going through a lot of counterculture at the time. But what happens when rebellion is the new brand and individualism is created by a committee? So we take two old school Paranoia films, Stepford Wives and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We throw on some grunge and a little bit of goth, and we get basically disturbing behavior and the faculty. Both released in 1998, both about mind control in a weird way, and about the loss of individuality, but both very different in their own ways. Let's start with Disturbing Behavior, a film that asks, what if your parents could fix you? And then promptly answers with, well, they would. In a small coastal town, there's a group of teens who are being cured and then turned into polite, sexually frustrated honor students. James Marsden stars as the new kid who notices that something's a little weird in this town. Katie Holmes as the edgy, sort of the outcast, but with a heart of gold. Nick Stahl as like the only like pothead stereotype that has been around for like 30 years.
Munchies. You be here at some primo weed. We smoked a fatty during gym.
What happens is parents sign their kids up for the Blue Ribbon program, where they put this implant in your eye and it controls your brain, makes you smarter, you respond to commands, you're under control. But what the doctor did not know is he's dealing with teenagers who have hormones that are just absolutely insane. Those hormones fight back against chip. So these horny and angry teens start to get a little weird whenever they get horny and angry.
What? Wait a second.
I know I'm not supposed to be doing this. It's bad. Wrong. Bad.
No, it's not bad. It's Jesus Christ.
Wrong. Bad. Wrong. Bad.
All in an effort to make their teens, I don't know, better, but just with a Letterman's jacket and, a haircut. It takes the story of the Stepford Wives, which in the 70s was about a fear of feminism, about fighting back and men basically just wanting women to be their slaves that cook for them and, do other things for them.
I'll scream. I swear to God.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think will happen if you do, huh? I'm a blue ribbon, baby. Team captain. You're not the one to trash that dude loved all.
Every time one of these kids gets a hard on, they go out and beat somebody with it.
So Disturbing Behavior takes that and says, we're going to make it about teens. We can't control our rebellious teens right now. So what if there was a fantasy of having absolute control over your teens? And the film does offer up a good commentary on this.
Wait a second.
Maybe you should lay off that shit.
Maybe you should eat me.
Yeah, okay.
That fear of rebellion leads these parents to make that decision to try and engineer morality and success and uniformity within their kids. Studio interference with the film kind of cut a lot of that out, as they had to drastically remove a lot from the film. And we'll probably never see the director's cut of this, as those elements just might not exist. Or at the very least, the studio doesn't want it to come out. The best we've gotten from both Scream Factory and MVD is deleted scenes where you can piece together parts of that original cut, but I would have loved to have seen just straight through the way it was intended. But still, even in the state that we got disturbing behavior, it's effective in what it's trying to put out there. Probably in a way that, yes, the story is adaptable to today, but the aesthetic and the vibes are very 90s and very Gen X. On the side of the parents, you can see that there was a fear about losing control. On the side of the teens, it was a fear about being just like everybody else, losing that individuality. The idea that success meant losing who you were. That takes us to The Faculty, on the other end of the paranoia spectrum. The Robert Rodriguez film that was, yes, written by Kevin Williamson, screenwriter for both Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Because this guy, he's got a knack for teen drama.
Hey, don't you just love the way Stokely accessorizes the different shades of black in her ensemble?
Fuck you, gutter slut. I don't know why you insist on being such a bad example for your people.
What people?
I hope you're not a violent lesbian like your newfound friend here.
No. I'm not aware of any lesbianism in my lineage.
Oh, that's too bad, Stokely. I guess I'll just have to keep looking for Miss Right.
Bipolar bitch.
I didn't know you were a lesbian. I don't think I've ever met one before. Have you been out long?
The plot is basically just Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but in a high school.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Small town gets taken over by aliens. Jack Finney's The Body Snatchers is a blatant rip-off of The Puppet Masters by Robert Heinlein, so you can completely disregard that entire work.
Whatever.
One of their main differences, instead of being replaced with pod people,
Fucking pod people.
this time it's tiny little like parasitic aliens that infest or infect the host and basically just take over their body. And then in kind of like a hive mind type way, you lose that individuality again. So it comes down to that same old paranoia. But this time, instead of marching along the hallways in your Letterman's jacket and everybody looking the same, we're giving in to stereotypes, into archetypes, if you will. The film, in a way, weaponizes those archetypes with the jock, the nerd, the goth, the outcast. They keep those identifiable features, but they still lose that independence and autonomy, as they are now part of the hive mind. Then it brings into that question, does any of this really matter? We're still marching along. We're still being controlled by something. You can be who you are, but you're not different.
You know, I think it's very impressive and evolved of
Not
you.
a lesbian, all right?
Be one. Please, flat free.
I just wish people would let me be, you know?
A D student.
Yeah.
Both Disturbing Behavior and The Faculty are about losing yourself to conformity, but kind of told through different ways. One is more becoming a part of the machine, looking exactly the same, acting exactly the same as everyone else, and having no difference. And the other one, giving in to those stereotypes and those archetypes and saying, yes, you now fit into a different mold, but that mold is very much controlled by what's around you. Because as counterculture has been growing for decades at this point, it was rapidly produced through the 90s. To the point where that counterculture became mainstream itself. Hot Topic took punk and said, now this is a Walmart thing. Goth became very popular and then was ruined by Queen of the Damned. Nerd culture was starting its rise. Self-parody became marketable. So when in essence, rebellion became part of the machine.
Only through conformity among the masses can the unified state offer the benefits of power, order, and security.
Actually, we covered that last week, Mr. Tate. We're on chapter 5.
Whatever.
Now we're entering a time when we're finally moving past the 80s nostalgia and we're sharply running into 90s nostalgia. So if you have nostalgia for the 90s and you like films like these, then guess what? In Search of Darkness 1995 to 1999 is in its pre-sale right now until October 31st. So, yes, I'm partnering again with Creator VC and I'm affiliated. So, if you use the link in my description, I get a kickback and it's pretty awesome. It'd be a great way to support the channel and me. I don't know, maybe inspire me to make more things like this, if you enjoyed it. And if you enjoy documentaries about horror, and if you enjoy late 90s horror, then In Search of Darkness 1995 to 1999 is 100% up your alley. And yes, if you buy it, you're just like all the other people who bought it, but that's fine. This just means you found your people.
What people?
You're weird, and it's okay. So go ahead and head down to the description, find that link, purchase the documentary, help your boy out, and maybe get some entertainment out of it. And maybe next time we'll talk about more films. I look so fresh. Ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh, so clean. So fresh and so clean. Like a damn helicopter or something flying by. This is great. Can you hear it? And now there's someone squealing their tires. This is great. Right when I want to record.